So, what is good, guys? What is really good? I'm here with Mark, or Real to Real, and Alpha X Games, and we're gonna talk about Yu Yu Hakusho and how a game will be working. I'm the host, the Black Chola Brother host. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, introduce yourself.
Hey, YouTubers! It's Mark from Real to Real. Nice to be here. Thank you, Blake.
So introduce yourself to Alpha.
What's up, guys? I'm Alpha Excalibur, and yeah.
So, Mark, how would you describe a Yu Yu Hakusho game? Like, because I've been talking to you more about it off air. So, how would you like a Yu Yu Hakusho game to be? Like, what is the perfect way? Why are you laughing at me? This is the first time, bro. What is the perfect like way to bring Yu Yu Hakusho back? Because it's been gone for a long time. So, how would you like it to come back?
I mean, totally, dude. Like you said, it's been gone for God knows how long. I can't even know. I don't even know. So. Essentially, like we were talking off air, and how I feel like a new game would kind of come back and rejuvenate the franchise. Honestly, I feel like in order for a good Yu Yu Hakusho game to actually come back and kind of bring life back into the franchise, you need to do something like Xenoverse did, and it needs to be kind of a pseudo semi-sequel to the original content, not just an adaptation of the original anime. Mm-hmm. So honestly, talking about like gameplay mechanics and story-wise, what I would do is kind of set it in present day. Like we do know that like the original series ended in like I think the year of the show was 95 and the manga was 95. So we're gonna have like a 21 year gap, and you put it in present day. The Spirit Detective organization is now put back into place, and you get to create a character who is not a demon, not anyone, but just like a new spirit detective. You get to do like the Xenoverse thing. You come in, like customize your own character and kind of pick out like what trait you like. Are you kind of like a spiritual character? Are you just like brute force, strength, or something like that? And then you kind of go with the story. And there's like this new story that kind of relates and connects to the old world kind of Yu Yu Hakusho game, where in the thing like you can explore and you get to find like old characters like Yusuke and Kurama and Hiei and all the other people that we've known from the series, and through them you get to relive or kind of see how like the epic battles of the original series, the stuff with the Toguro brothers or Sensei or the Three Kings arc or anything like that, something really cool. But in the meantime, you're doing like individual like missions where you're introducing new characters and new conflicts, where they really dive deep into like the mythology of the world, until like one big thing actually brings like the story mode of the game. And then for the multiplayer aspect, you take that character and you can enter enter internet-wide dark tournaments or and I guess like once you finish the game and everything, you can actually make a demon character if you want, because I think it would be unfair if you couldn't make a demon character. But like, So I just really like the idea of being able to create my own spirit detective and reliving, or actually not having an option to actually relive or just do the epic fights and everything of the original story, but actually get some actual new content, whether it's canon or not.
That actually was a lot. Like I knew the rough outline, but I wasn't expecting to be this much. But Alpha, like, I got a question for you. What do you think about a Yu Yu Hakusho like that? Like, would you prefer them to do the original story just to get people a feel what Yu Yu Hakusho would be like if you watch the anime, or would you like the whole like create your own character and then make up a story for this? Like, what would you like from it, Alpha?
For me, probably the original story, because not everyone knows about the full story of Yu Yu Hakusho to begin with. So if you have, the story already set, then people are just gonna come into it and be like, what's a spirit gun? What's a demon? And stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I think they should have a story mode first to establish like how everyone is and like what you're doing and stuff.
Yeah, I can see that. And Mark, I got a question for you. Like, when it comes to this, like, say the open, like the Xenoverse route, would this game be able, like, would it be the type of game that people can actually get into the show? If you know what I mean.
I feel like it could be, because it's not like Xenoverse where you're set in a completely new area and have to explore and just know like the world of Dragon Ball Z and kind of run into these people as you go. The way I would see it is, there would be like different areas. Like you have a city, you have the spirit world, and you have the demon world once you unlock those places or whatnot. But you find the people where we left them in the show. And the way that, like, what Alpha was saying, like, yeah, you really do need to, like, kind of express, like, the characteristics of the show, but you can do that within the game itself while also having, like, a new and original story. Like, you can update and tell people exactly what happened in the original show. And it would be cool, because, like, you know, with Dragon Ball's universe, they had to, like, they reanimated some scenes, and just kind of like real animation scenes. They can actually reanimate some scenes from the original show and show like the epic conclusions of certain battles, like the ones in the Dark Tournament or Sensei or anything like that. And I think you can do both. I feel like this game should do both if it's going to do any at all.
Yeah, I can actually see that, but I got a question for you. So you're basically saying now how, like, with all the way Yu Yu Hakusho works, you feel like within the story they'll explain that to you. Is that what you're trying to say? Like,
that's the original show. That's the original show and the original intent. Like, as an audience, we were working with Yusuke throughout the whole show to understand exactly what, like, spirit, like his spirit gun, his spirit energy, the spirit world, the demon world, all this stuff. Like, as we progress in the story, we would learn more and more about it. Why can't we just start over? I mean, the whole point of the game would be, instead of to just reintroduce a manga, oh guys, you remember that manga, you remember that anime that's like 20 years old? you know, like that stuff that's like 20 years old? You should really go back and look at that stuff by playing this brand new game. No. You need to go in and you need to recreate, you need to make a sequel type story and reintroduce as you go, not simply just make a game to reintroduce the same content that we already know about.
I got a question for both of you. So, if they were to do a game like that, do you think it would sell well, and do you think it will get people into Yu Yu Hakusho, and do you think people will be like, wow, this is anime Yu Yu Hakusho, like, this is actually going to change what people look about Yu Yu Hakusho, this is actually going to pretty much make a Yu Yu Hakusho community, like you got the Dragon Ball community, you got the Naruto community. Do you reckon it will fall into that category, or you reckon that they should just stick to games and not touch Yu Yu Hakusho? Like, could this trigger movies for Yu Yu Hakusho coming out in the future, or it should just stick to like the games that you guys are saying or suggesting? Alpha, what do you think? What do you feel about that?
Probably only games, because like if it came back, I have a feeling that it's going to be milked out in some way. So it should just like stay like as a series that everyone knows. But
okay. What about you, Mark?
Personally, I feel like it. Even if they did make a game and it's kind of like what I'm saying, or even what Alpha's saying, it's just a new version of the fighting system and everything in a brand new console, that'd be epic either way. Honestly, I don't ever see it actually happening and breaking out and coming back, like stuff like Xenoverse or Yu-Gi-Oh's coming back. I think they were saying that Digimon just recently came back, Sailor Moon came back, all these animes. I don't see Yu Yu Hakusho doing that. It just hasn't like survived in that presence. And one of the things that brought, at least from us in the West, that brought Dragon Ball back, or Dragon Ball Z back, and kept it relevant for everyone for all these years, was honestly Team 4 started with their Dragon Ball Z Abridged series. And
yeah, you're right with that.
And that's the thing that kind of kept us, like, even us as adults, as we grew up, it's like, well, you know, like, they've had this parody series, it's kept it relevant, and so now that Super's out, it's like, oh my god, we're still fans about this, we still understand it, we still have been digesting throughout these years. Yu Yu Hakusho doesn't have that type of following, and I don't think that even if a game that came out was incredibly successful brought about that, I don't think it ever will come back in a movie or series form, although I would really like it. I did make a thing, like, not to plug, but I did make a video on my channel about, like, what I would like to see from a sequel. The thing is I don't ever see it coming back in that way, although a video game, like Alpha said, would be incredibly awesome, and just having that would satisfy me.
There's another question I would like to ask to you guys, and this falls under the bracket called balancing. Like, when I mean balancing, should this game be casual, like just like like you got X, Y circle or square? Like, should it be casual, or should it just be a game that can go deep, like it can be really competitive, or should it just be just a standard, like, average combat system, like Xenoverse? You just go online, fight your friends, you walk around, like an open world game. Like, when I mean open world, I mean legit open world, not like Xenoverse when you feel like you're trapped in a dome. You know what I'm saying? What'd you guys feel about that? Like, who wants to go first? Like, suggesting that. Alpha, you go.
All right, sure. Maybe a average fighting system, so everyone can, I guess, have a chance to be good at it. So like, if you like aren't as like into fighting games, you can easily just play that and I guess learn what to do.
Okay. What about you, Mark?
That's a very, very good question. I feel like Alpha's right with the average fighting style. Honestly, in terms of the show, from what I remember, I've watched the show like 3 times. I feel like there's not really much within the show. Like, the characters, besides like people like Hiei and Kurama and stuff, are definitely not strategic characters. It's basically brute force. Like everybody just like punches each other until somebody falls. So keeping with like a really simplistic gaming style would not only make it very accessible to like new audiences and everything like that, but also kind of stay really kind of within the show's diameter, like the show's concept of being like that, with really huge in between attacks once you charge up whatever spirit energy you can. But honestly, the problem with that, it's the problem with Xenoverse. I haven't played Storm 4, but I'm assuming that might be a problem with that game. It leads to spamming, it leads to really easy gameplay, and it just leads to the game dying off really quickly.
I can see what you mean, because when it comes to games like Storm 4, games like that, spamming, like, there's one thing we got to quickly address. Like, spamming is always going to be there, in my opinion. It's always going to be a part of, like, fighting games. But I can see what you guys mean about average fighting system. But I got another question on top of that. Do you guys feel that it should be average, but there's some deep stuff hidden within the game? Like, there will be some deep stuff that you actually have to go and play the game and find it. So do you know how like you got Smash Bros, how that looks so easy, not even competitive, but when you get in the game you realize there's some deep stuff that you didn't know that will be in the game. How would you feel about that being in a Yu Yu Hakusho game?
That would be pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
So what about you? Wait, you got anything else to say then? Like, tell me.
Okay. So yeah, it could work because like everyone in a Yu Yu Hakusho has like different types of powers. So I guess if you learn how to like use them correctly, you could like somehow be pretty good at it.
Oh, so you mean like being creative with your combos and like mixing stuff up and like joining different stuff together?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, what about you?
That would be really cool. I'm trying to like Alpha's got me thinking. Like, I can't really remember if there's. I think there is like certain things. Oh yeah. So okay, in the Dark Tournament Saga, that's my favorite damn fucking arc in any goddamn anime. It's so fucking awesome.
Me too, bro.
So just because like, so one of the things that like really is very awesome about that is it really introduces this concept of these demon artifacts and spiritual artifacts that kind of express different sorts of powers in people. So Kurama uses the berry or something from this water, and he's able to transform into Yoko Kurama for like a short amount of time. Hiei, same thing, and Kuwabara gets the hilt of his sword to make his sword stronger. That would be really cool, is if you play the game, you can unlock that stuff and like actually equip it to you before you go into the game. As like, if I'm losing, like I can pull out the stop for like a couple seconds or something. Like I level up my character and I can kind of go in and out. One thing I would do, just off the cuff of this, is like I would do a Budokai 3 thing, where you can level up every single one of your characters to a different degree. Like I really like the fact it makes it way more competitive without actually having to change the fighting system. So it's like you can't just go and fight a level 99 like Goku, but it's not like Xenoverse where like you level up your one character and it affects everyone else. Like you have to pick somebody. So if I want to level up Kuwabara and Hiei, I can do that, and I don't necessarily have to waste my time on leveling up my created character like in my idea or even in Alpha's idea or something. If I want to like level up one person like Toguro, I can level up Toguro and just keep Toguro, and someone can come in with Yusuke the same level as I am. I have no idea how the guy fights or like how to defend against the person, and despite it being really easy to pick up, everyone has kind of their unique fighting styles and ways that you can actually play them, kind of like in Super Smash Bros.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got another question on top of that. Do you know how like in the Dark Tournament there are people that have unique abilities? Like you got a guy that's using yo-yos and spinning tops. How would you feel if they were to put characters like that in the game?
Wow, fucking awesome.
What do you feel about them characters from the Dark Tournament? Do you feel like they need to be in the game or they're not relevant to be in the game?
Yes, put them in the game.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, every single one. All the characters that are relevant to the show, like relevant battles, like. And the problem is you need a roster. You need a big roster, and honestly, like Yu Yu Hakusho isn't big enough to have a legitimate roster unless you add some of the people from the Dark Tournament.
I can see that. Say if I've never gone to Yu Yu Hakusho. Let's say this for example, this black man from the UK hasn't gone to Yu Yu Hakusho. What is the reason why I should get a Yu Yu Hakusho game if they're to make one? Like, what is the reason? What makes this anime special to other animes? And what animes can you relate it to? Give me a reason to get into the game. Like, Alpha, go first.
That's a lot. Okay. A reason to get into the game. Okay. Where to start? Okay, so with Yu Yu Hakusho, it's a popular shonen, like Naruto and Dragon Ball and stuff. So if you like fighting games and if you like, you know, good storytelling, I think that would be a good reason for you to try to get into the series and, you know, maybe buy a game if it ever comes out.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Mark?
Man,
like,
that's a tough question. I feel like I have to agree with Alpha. You know, like the thing is, like we've mentioned a lot, like this is a 20-year-old franchise, 25-year-old franchise at this point, and it's so old that like you know, you don't know anything about the game, and you can't really rely on oh, you know, people like us saying, oh man, Yu Yu Hakusho's cool, you gotta look it up, you gotta check it out. I think one thing you do, and the only way you can really sell the game outside of that is you sell it on the gameplay mechanics or the story mechanics. Like I said, like we talked about, like, I mean, that's why I feel like creating a character and being able to live a complete, like a brand new story to the story that we already know and love, whether you know it or not, is with the added bonus of like kind of revisiting and getting to like replay the epic fights of the original, is the only true selling point of the game, because it would bring out those hardcore fans, the people who came out of the universe and like, oh shit, like a new story, and we're gonna see a new story and a new take on Dragon Ball Z. I want to do that. I want to play through that. I want to see how this works. I want to see the new fighting mechanics, but mostly it was the story that brought us all in. Because we've seen Dragon Ball Z games like right in the center for years of the same exact thing, and getting something different was actually something that propelled the series forward and the fandom forward.
I got another question on top of that. So you're saying that this game could potentially have the effect that, okay, Burn and Blood's not out, we're not sure that Burn and Blood will be a good game, but you're saying this game will have the effect of what's happening with Burn and Blood, like people seeing the trailer saying it look cool, oh, let me start watching the anime or reading the manga. Do you reckon that if they do it in the right manner, they can actually get more people into the anime and make the anime a lot more popular? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Wow. I feel like that's the whole point, right? Like there would be no point. The game itself, kind of like Xenoverse in a way, but Xenoverse is working off the Battle of Gods and that type. But I mean, you just have to kind of come back and go, we need to do something different to get people's attention and do what we want to do without having the fear that it's going to flop. And I feel like offering something new to the established story is the thing that gets everyone back interested again and reliving their childhood and going to watch that show or watch it if they've never seen it. And the output from people like us talking about it and being rude about something like that would actually build that franchise and that fandom at least a little bit.
Okay, I got one final question for both of you. I got one final question. Okay, 3 things that you would say is key to make a Yu Yu Hakusho game successful. Alpha, go first.
Good gameplay.
That's true. So what about like, would you say like advertisement of the game? Because there are games out there that were advertised, or like consoles out there were advertised terrible. Like when the Wii U came out, I didn't know that there was a Wii U. I looked on my TV and I see this thing on my TV, and I'm like, bro, what is this, bro? It's like Wii U. I was like, when did this come out, bro? And then I looked and I realized that it's been out for a year. I was like, bro. Well, what about you, Mark? 3 things that will make Yu Yu Hakusho a good game, or 3 things that it needs for it to be successful.
First of all, I feel like I want to kind of expand upon what Alpha said. Kind of got my mind rolling a little bit. In terms of like extra content, Yu Yu Hakusho as a base has a really good thing to make like a little extra content in the game. Is I think it was the Ogre King or something. Correct me down below. Where the game master, who they can use, the kid in the Sensor arc is like the Sensor arc is the game master. Create games that no one people play like arcade games for real when they die. Ogre King is a bunch of little side games that you can play, be it like math-based, trivia-based, something like that. That would be really fun to do as a side game and something to offer. So yeah, like side games, it needs to have a respectable character roster. I think that's the biggest thing that any anime needs, any game anime game needs, is like you need to respect and have the maximum number of like interesting people that you can put together. Like, I want to see Tagoro and Sensor fight. I want to see Yami and Tagoro fight or something like that. And then I guess 3 would be, like I said before, just something new, like a new story.
Okay, yeah. Like, with all this stuff you guys are saying, it's getting me a little bit, like, I feel like they're actually making a game. But anyways, guys, thank you for being here, like, for the very first episode, something I'm trying to do new on my channel. I thank you guys for actually being on this, like, this little, like, series. Like, I don't know how long this is gonna go. Hopefully, people like this, but as a whole, I thank you guys for actually being on this mini-series, or however long series. Like, just thank you, right? But anyway, guys, this has been the video. So, please comment and subscribe. I know I say this all the time, but at the end of the day, I'm just saying. Please leave a like, rate, enjoy this video, and yeah, I'll catch you next one, guys. Bye.